what lies underneath these vents is very nice, pretty crusty, pretty rusty, lets water and air in, so before I replace my bulkhead, give it that lease of life for a couple of years. A couple of weeks ago I had quite a lot of welding done on the back of the bulkhead to fix some holes. I know that really in a couple of years, in a few years, I'm going to have to get a new bulkhead. But what I want to do today is just give it a little bit of a freshen up for those few years. There's a bit of bubbling all the way around the vents and underneath the windscreen supports here, same on the other side. So I'm going to get a wire brush attachment on the angle grinder, clean it all up a little bit, take the vents off first obviously, give it a sand down and then use that chemical metal, which I seem to use all the time, to fill any of the holes and flatten it out, just to bring it back to flush again, and then use my Paintman paint that I was using on the other videos. And yeah, so hopefully there's no hiccups along the way and can keep it nice and clean, and then use the paint to finish it off, and the vents won't let any water or air in. So let's get started. That vent was a bit of a pain to get off. Underneath they had one Phillips bolt and the other one was just a hex head bolt, and I couldn't get a screwdriver in there, it took ages, but hopefully this one is not the same and definitely going to replace that. Let's go for it. Just put my pliers through this hole here, nice big hole up there, nice hole there. Maybe it's a bit worse than I thought, might have to take this off. Fortunately there was a gasket under there, now gone. So what I've had to do is take the windscreen mount off. Found there's quite a bit more rust than I thought, so just to make sure I'm going to go over it a little bit more thoroughly. Hopefully don't find any more along the way. Hopefully it's just a bit here, and then in the future I might do a patch over this, but just see how we go for now like this. So I've got a pretty strong knot wheel here, a very horizontal one to get into these gaps. I was talking to Ollie at 6th Element Engineering and he said these aren't very nice, so I'm gonna have to be careful. I've got the guard on protection, I haven't got gloves unfortunately, I haven't got any of those, but I'm gonna take it easy, see how I go from there, and then I've got a finer one to do after, and then maybe a bit of sanding as well. So let's see how we go. So quite a lot of time has passed. After the holes were exposed, a lot more than I thought. I had to think of a way of filling it properly. So I've done that over there now. I've done the first layer of filler and sanding, and the same with here. You can see all this white bit here, that's all the chemical metal there. I've done the first pass with it. There's like an edge on the vent that pushes up against the foam to stop the water getting in and the air. So to get a proper seal, you want to try and build that edge up a bit, and I'm trying to do that with filler. Not ideal, but hopefully better than it was. Next, I'm going to look at those vents, the genuine seals that I put on about 8 months ago. They're sort of all peeled away a little bit, so I'm going to try and fix those now. As you can see here, this is all peeling away, unfortunately. You can see the adhesive's still there, but this strip here should be up against this, sort of like this side, it's been pressing up quite well, sort of holding up to it quite nicely down here, but up this part here, it's definitely slipped. So I'm going to pull it all off, use this 3M double-sided tape in between to reposition it and make it stick. Annoyingly, I have to pull this all off here. So there you go, got this gap now below here, hoping that will stick back in place a little bit better, and now I'm going to do the next one. I went over again with the filler and sanded it. That side's pretty much prepped, ready to go, ready for paint. Just need to clean it down, make sure there's no dust left over there, ready for paint, and then we'll get over there and start painting it. Next, on this side though, I've just done the final layer of filler. I've sort of built up a lip here using different bits and pieces as I showed you earlier. Next, I need to, once it's all dry, cut it back a bit and then sand it down just to give it the sort of effect of what this side is still, with that lip there to stop the water from getting in still. So I'm going to leave that to set a little bit more, sets really quickly, this chemical metal. Just need to sand the rest of it down and get it painted. Hopefully it looks good after. So I've removed all the tape, started to sand it back. Got a Dremel here to help shape this lip here. I've used the cutting tool to cut the lip off the edge, and it's looking quite good now. Got a sanding ball here, high rev, and just going to try and shape it up to match this side as much as I can with this. So just went on a blast up and down the lane to get some of the dust off, just left the bonnet off to try and get some airflow up and blow all the dust out the vents and through the windows and just completely off it. After that I washed it all down with a bit of white spirit. So now it's ready for paint. I've prepped it as much as I feel I can and it's cleaned as much as I feel I can. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was, seeing all those holes in it earlier. So hopefully this will give it a lease of life for the next few years, and let's get painting. So it's the next day. I've let it dry overnight. I had it covered up and now the sun's on it to finish it off a bit. I need to put the bonnet back on, get the vents back on, and I've got stainless steel fixings to put through here. It'll keep it nice and smooth and stop it from rusting. So let's get it all back together, get it looking good again.